Hi cuties, welcome to GL Lifehacks. Today the story is about the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Long ago, a king and his queen were blessed with a lovely little girl. She was as white as snow. Her cheeks were as red as blood and her hair as black as ebony. Let us call her a Snow White, said the king. However, soon something sad happened. The queen died. Years went by. The king married again. A new queen was pretty but very proud. She had a magic mirror whom she often asked, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" Each time the mirror replied, "You are the fairest, my queen." Meanwhile, Snow White has growing up. One day, as the queen asked the mirror her usual question, it replied, "Snow White is the fairest of all them all." The queen was filled with jealousy. She called the hunter and said, "Take Snow White into the forest and kill her." The hunter took Snow White to the forest, but he could not kill her. "Run away, princess. The queen wants to kill you," he said. Snow White was frightened. She ran on until she was very tired. Suddenly, Snow White saw a small cottage in the middle of the forest. "A wonder who lives here," thought Snow White, and entered the cottage. Inside, she saw a small table with 7 little plates on it. Snow White was hungry. She ate the little food from each plate. Snow White saw 7 little beds in one corner. She fell asleep in one of them. This cottage belonged to 7 dwarfs who worked in the mountains. That evening, when they returned home, they found that someone had tasted their food on their plates. Suddenly, a dwarf cried, "Who is sleeping in the bed?" Hearing the cry, Snow White woke up. "Child, how did you come here?" asked the eldest dwarf. So Snow White told them her sad story. "Stay with us," said the doves. Meanwhile, the queen's mirror told her that Snow White was alive and she was living with the doves. The queen was angry. She made a poisonous apple. Then she decided as a peasant woman and went to the dove's cottage. She knew that doves had left for their work. Snow White was sitting at the window when the queen asked her, "Would you like an apple?" "No, thank you," said the Snow White. Then the queen cut the apple into two and ate half of it. "Look, it is so juicy," she said. Actually, one half of the apple was poison. The queen had eaten the part which was not poison. Snow White was tempted. She accepted the apple and took a bite of a poisoned half. Immediately, she fell down dead. When the doves returned in the evening, they found Snow White lying lifeless. Filled with sadness, the doves cried for a long time. Then they put Snow White inside the glass coffin and left into the forest. One day, a prince came to the forest and saw Snow White inside the coffin. "Oh, what a pretty girl," said the prince. "I cannot leave her alone here." He told his servants to take the coffin to his palace. As they were dying so, for the servants stumbled and coffin fell down. At once the poisonous apple came out of Snow White's throat and she woke up. The prince was delighted. "Will you marry me, fair lady?" he asked. Snow White agreed. Soon they were married. The 7 dwarfs came to the wedding and danced all night. The prince and the Snow White lived happily ever after. If you like this story, please do like, share and subscribe to GL Life Hacks for more videos. Thank you. Thanks for watching. See you again.